Ever feel like there's got to be more to life than this? Like, come on, this can't be it, right? The daily grind, the whole 9 yards. What if we're all just playing the game wrong? That's the kind of thing that hit me hard when I first read The 4-Hour Workweek. Timothy Ferriss, this guy, he really makes you think. We're going to dive deep into this book today and see what gems we can dig up.
You know, it's funny. This book still feels so fresh, even after all these years. It's because it challenges us, you know?
Yeah.
It makes us really think about what success even means, what it means to be wealthy. It's not just about working differently, it's about living differently.
Yeah, he doesn't waste any time either. He jumps right in asking, can you live like a millionaire without actually, having millions in the bank? That question kind of stops you in your tracks, huh?
It does. It makes you realize we often think about wealth as just money, right? Mm-hmm. When real wealth, well, it can be something else entirely. Ferriss calls them the new rich, and their bank statements, they don't tell the whole story.
So, okay, who are these new rich? Are we talking like trust fund babies, lottery winners?
No, not at all. Think more like, that friend we all have, the one who'd rather travel the world or learn a new skill than be stuck in some high-paying job that makes them want to pull their hair out. Mm-hmm. They might not have millions, but they're rich in other ways, right? Experiences, freedom. That's the new rich in a nutshell.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. But Ferriss, he doesn't just talk about it. He gives us real examples too, like that story about the millionaire gambler in Vegas. He's got all this money, but is totally miserable running his businesses.
Oh, man. That one always gets me. It just shows, right? You can chase money all you want, but if you don't think about what actually makes you happy, what fulfills you, it can be a pretty empty victory. Money without purpose,
And then there's the Olympic athlete, the one who built this whole successful business on the side while he's out there training at the top of his game. It kind of proves you don't always have to pick just one passion.
For sure.
Yeah.
It blows that whole idea out of the water, the one that says you got to give up on one dream to chase another. Ferriss reminds us that, hey, with the right mindset, we can actually have it all. It's about designing the right life, a life with room for all our passions.
And how about that family? The one who said, see ya later to their fancy Parisian lifestyle, ditched it all to sail around the world for a year, and guess what? It cost them less than their rent back in Paris. Can you imagine?
That one really makes you think twice about what's possible, doesn't it? We think these amazing experiences have to cost a fortune, but they're often closer than we realize.
Those stories are seriously inspiring, but I bet some folks listening are like, okay, I'm fired up, but how do I actually make this happen? Luckily, Ferriss gives us the goods. He's got this framework, like a roadmap called DEAL.
And, it's not some magic formula or anything. It's more like a way of approaching things, encouraging us to try stuff out, see what works for us.
Okay, I like it. So let's break this DEAL thing down. What's it all about?
So it stands for definition, elimination, automation, and liberation. Each step, it kind of builds on the last one, guiding us, towards a life with more freedom, more purpose.
Interesting. He starts with definition. It makes you think you can't build the life you want if you don't know what it looks like, right?
Right on. And it's not just the dream job, it's everything. How you want to spend your time, where you want to be, who you're with, the whole picture.
So once we figured out that ideal life, we move to elimination. Time to tackle all those things that just suck up our time and energy, the stuff that keeps us from what matters, right?
Yep. And Ferriss gets down to brass tacks here. He talks about the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. You know that one. Mm-hmm. Basically, 80% of our results come from just 20% of what we do. So find that 20%, that's where the magic is.
Working smarter, not harder. I like the sound of that. What else does he recommend for eliminating distractions, making the most of our time?
Oh, he's big on batching, grouping similar tasks together. Like you wouldn't cook one dish, then another, then back and forth all day, right? You'd make a whole meal at once. Same idea.
Makes sense. So we've defined our dream life. We're cutting out the distractions. Next up, automation. Now, this is where things get interesting, especially for anyone dreaming of that 4-hour work week.
Now we're talking. Automation is all about setting up systems, processes, things that can generate income without, constant babysitting. Imagine a business that practically runs itself, frees you up to chase other passions, or just chill.
Sounds pretty dreamy. But be honest, can anyone do that? Or is it just for, the tech geniuses, the big shot entrepreneurs?
Ferriss would say anyone can do it. It's about creativity, and using technology to your advantage. Don't overthink it.
All right, I'm listening. So that brings us to the last part of DEAL, and this one might be the most exciting. Liberation.
Liberation, yeah. This is where we break free. No more 9-to-5 grind. No more being chained to a desk. This is about location independence.
So paint me a picture. I'm working from a beach in Bali, a cafe in Paris. maybe even just my couch. The point is, I get to choose.
Exactly. Work doesn't dictate your life. It fits into your life, on your terms.
I have to admit, this is all pretty tempting, but there's got to be someone out there thinking, hold on, do I need to quit my job for this? Become some kind of entrepreneur.
That's a common one. Ferriss, he's mostly talking to entrepreneurs, but he gets it. These ideas, they can work for people with regular jobs too.
Okay, so how does that work? How can someone with a traditional job use these ideas?
He talks about switching it up, going from deal to della, putting liberation first. Maybe it's negotiating some remote work, flexible hours, or just finding ways to have more say in your work.
So even if you're not ready to, jump headfirst into starting a business, you can still use these principles to shake things up a bit. Get a little more freedom in your life. Okay, this is all great, but let's be real for a sec. Even if we're working less, the bills still got to get paid, right? Does Ferriss expect us all to become, digital nomads selling stuff on Etsy?
Well, that's where this idea of the freedom multiplier comes in. See, Ferriss, he says, the value of your money, it's not just about how much you have. It's about the freedom it gives you.
So it's not about the numbers in your account. It's about what those numbers let you do, the choices you get to make, the experiences you can have.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Would you rather have a huge salary but be stuck at a desk for 80 hours a week? Or would you rather earn a good living, work maybe 20 hours a week, and do it from anywhere in the world?
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think I know what most people would choose. But pulling that off, that's the tricky part, right?
It seems that way, but Ferriss breaks it down really well. He says this freedom multiplier, it all comes down to how much control we have over 4 things: what we do, when we do it, where we do it, and who we're with while we're doing it.
So the more control we have in those areas, the higher our freedom multiplier, the richer we are. And it doesn't even matter how much money we're actually making.
Boom. There it is. We're not just talking about money anymore. It's a whole different way of thinking about wealth.
It's about living life on your own terms. Right. Choosing experiences over stuff. Freedom over a fancy title and a job that makes you miserable.
You got it. And the amazing thing is, even if you just make small changes in those 4 areas, it can make a huge difference in how free and, how happy you feel in your life.
This deep dive has been amazing. The 4-Hour Workweek. It's so much more than just a book about working less. It's like a guide to building a life you actually want to live, a life that feels meaningful.
Totally agree. It's all about questioning things, challenging the way everyone else does it, creating a life that truly fits who you are, what you care about.
So before we go, I want to leave everyone with something to think about. What's one small thing you can do today, right now, to boost your own freedom multiplier?
Maybe it's asking your boss about working from home 1 day a week. Maybe it's finally setting up that system for paying your bills automatically. Or maybe it's just taking an hour for yourself to do something you love, something you've been putting off.
Remember, big changes, they usually start small. So keep trying things out, keep exploring, and never stop building a life that excites you. Until next time, happy diving, everyone.